Another night in the city, and another disaster is already brewing under the neon glow. A rescue van tears through the streets as some seriously bad news hits the airwaves. Korea's top hunters got absolutely wrecked in a six-star gate, needing Japan to come bail them out. The internet is having a field day, completely flaming the hunters for being greedy and useless. Inside the van, one of the rescue guys is fuming about how these heroes get paid millions even when they fail. But his optimistic partner insists they have to put their faith in the new generation of rookie hunters. Meanwhile, their supervisor, Seo Yul, just chills in the back looking completely unbothered by all the drama. He shuts the whole debate down, basically saying the hunters' mess is their own problem to solve. The driver gets ticked off, telling his stone-cold boss to lighten up for once in his life. His buddy just sighs, complaining that it's always the rescue squad who ends up taking all the blame. Our boy Seo Yul just tunes them out, knowing this is the sad reality of being an underappreciated government worker. They all work for the Administration Bureau Hunter, the government's special force of mid-rank awakened badasses. The bureau is split into three specialized squads: Vanguard, Surveillance, and the ever-busy Rescue Department. And our guy is in Rescue, the last line of defense that dives into hell to pull people out. But Seo Yul has a secret weapon, a specialized role that makes him absolutely essential for any mission. He's a seeker, a human GPS who can pinpoint survivors and escape routes when everything goes south. The squad finally arrives on site, where a dangerously unstable gate is already spitting pure chaotic energy. The captain gives the final pep talk. It's time to go in and bail out the so-called epic guild members. But right as they're about to move, some long-haired geezer with a serious attitude problem blocks their path. Oh hell no, the team leader is absolutely fuming at the sheer disrespect coming from this old-timer. This old-timer is Baek Jun Hwan, a big-shot executive from the powerful Overcross Guild, and he's looking way too smug. And this dude's got a nasty reputation for sending weaker guilds into monster-filled meat grinders on purpose. He gives a chilling smirk, confirming he doesn't care who dies as long as the money keeps rolling in. The captain tries to shove past him, screaming about the emergency, but this fossil isn't budging an inch. Baek throws out a fake offer of help, basically asking if they're too proud to accept it from a superior guild. But our boy Seo Yul steps in, ice cold, and calls him out for trying to save face for a mess he created. He hits him with a hard no, telling him to stay out of their business, and you can just see the old man's smile crack. With that settled, the rescue squad wastes no more time and dives headfirst into the chaotic energy of the gate. They land in a soaking wet jungle surrounded by ancient ruins, and the captain immediately orders everyone on high alert. Inside, the trapped guild members are barely holding on, desperately hoping their rescue call actually went through. The guild's healer is losing her mind, desperately trying to save her friend as monsters close in for the kill. Her face drains of all color as a terrifying shadow looms over her from behind. A massive beast roars, raising its supercharged claws to slice her clean in half. But out of nowhere, a bolt of lightning slams into the monster, a mysterious spearman blocking the attack. The rescuer stands like an absolute unit, protecting the survivors as the beast disintegrates into red mist. He reaches out a hand, casually asking if she's okay after almost becoming monster food. It's our boy Seo Yul, dropping in with a confident smirk to announce that the pros have arrived. But his captain is already screaming his name because there's no time to celebrate this win. Their way back is completely swarmed by ghouls, and the team leader is demanding a new escape route immediately. Seo Yul just activates his seeker ability, his eyes glowing as he gets ready to work his magic. Using his sonar-like powers, he maps out every moving threat and survivor in the entire dungeon. The entire layout of the ancient ruins becomes crystal clear in his mind's eye, revealing every path. And just like that, he locks onto a hidden doorway, their one and only ticket out of this hellhole. Our boy instantly yells the good news to his captain, who looks absolutely pumped about the clutch save. Without a second's hesitation, the captain just yeets the confused healer over his shoulder to get a move on. It's a mad dash for freedom as Seo Yul leads the charge through the jungle, leaving monsters in the dust. But the rescued healer is having some serious doubts, wondering if they're just running deeper into danger. Her rescuer tries to calm her down, admitting that, yeah, their all-important seeker is technically only a D rank. But he boasts that our boy has the best damn skills in the country, so there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Spoke way too soon, my dude, because a massive, horrifying beast just popped up to prove him horribly wrong. But our boy just drops a lightning-fast haymaker, turning that monster's face into absolute pavement. The team's faith is already shaking as one of the guys starts freaking out, screaming if this is even the right path. And his panic is totally justified, as an endless wave of ghouls starts swarming them from every single direction. The squad immediately gets to work, blasting and slicing their way through the monstrous horde like absolute pros. The rescuer who was bragging earlier puts his money where his mouth is, guarding the terrified healer with a vicious snarl. But our boy Seo Yul is completely unfazed, confirming with ice-cold confidence that they are on the right track. But here's the kicker, the monsters know exactly where they're going and have set up a deadly ambush. These aren't just mindless beasts, they're being puppeted by a necromancer, turning them into a coordinated army. Suddenly, a system window pops up as our boy's Op 6 sense skill kicks into high gear. He locks onto that creepy feeling of being watched, confirming the puppet master is hiding somewhere close by. And just like that, the dungeon boss reveals itself, slamming its staff down to unleash a wave of dark magic. A massive magic circle erupts from the ground, trapping the entire squad in a cage of pure purple energy. The team captain is absolutely losing his mind, realizing they've walked straight into a high-level magic trap. Our boy Seo Yul confirms the horrible truth, yelling that this is no monster ambush but a deadly magical spell. He blasts a ghoul to absolute bits while screaming at the top of his lungs for everyone to escape the circle. The squad doesn't need to be told twice, making a mad dash for the edge of the deadly spell's radius. The captain pulls a classic hero move, yelling at Seo Yul to save himself and just get the hell out of there. Talk about bad timing, a blast of dark energy slams right into his back, stopping him dead in his tracks. But our boy Seo Yul isn't having any of that, launching himself forward to save his falling captain. He hits the ground in a superhero landing, ready to unleash hell on whatever just attacked his team. A system window slams them with bad news. Their movement speed is officially in the gutter. The debuff hits him like a ton of bricks, and our boy is already struggling against the crippling pressure. Despite the pain, he roars at his captain, promising to bust him out of this magic trap any second now. But the captain screams at him to back off, knowing this is a suicide mission for anyone who gets close. Captain Lee Han goes full hero mode, ordering everyone to ditch him and save the others before it's too late. He gives one last look of regret, basically saying his goodbyes as he prepares to go down with the ship. Our boy just smirks, telling his captain to pump the brakes because dying is not on his schedule today. He stands defiant in the center of the trap, basically daring the entire monster army to come and get some. He calls out the puppet master, realizing this whole ambush was just a twisted game for its own amusement. And the final boss reveals itself, Caracal, a terrifying skeletal necromancer with a seriously bad attitude. The necromancer laughs its bony ass off, genuinely impressed that our boy navigated his personal playground so easily. But Seo Yul hits him with a stone-cold smirk, offering up his secrets in exchange for his life. Caracal is not having it, promising to just turn him into a ghoul and rip the answers straight from his undead soul. Without a single ounce of fear, our boy steps right into the dark magic, ready to go toe-to-toe with death itself. But the boss's curse is no joke, instantly corrupting his hand with pure necrotic energy. The system starts screaming at him, confirming his vitality is dropping like a rock from the deadly curse. He lets out a primal roar as the agonizing magic threatens to tear his entire body apart from the inside out. His captain watches in despair, wondering if begging for his life would have been the smarter play. But he knows he could never become like the scumbag guild hunters who trade lives for a bigger paycheck. In a world overrun by these greedy fakes, real heroes are an endangered species. We flash back to the moment that started it all, a young boy being saved from total chaos by a true hero. The hunter's voice breaks as he apologizes, a single moment of kindness in a world of destruction. This hero was torn apart by grief for those he couldn't save, sparking a fire in our boy's soul. He swore then and there to become a hunter just like him, one who truly protects the weak. Snapping back to reality, our boy roars that he can't die here, unleashing a storm of skills all at once. He blasts out a massive wave of golden energy, his seeker ability going into absolute overdrive. The golden pulse maps out the entire dungeon in an instant, lighting up every rock, tree, and hidden path. He desperately scans for any weakness in this fortress, any crack in the boss's perfect trap. His senses are screaming for even the smallest possibility of a way out of this absolute nightmare. And then he spots it, a single glowing monument, the one thing that doesn't belong in this dark domain. The system freaks out, revealing the monument contains legendary info about a secret hidden class. Our boy is completely floored, realizing he just found a game-breaking secret in the middle of a boss fight. But the necromancer just scoffs, mocking him for fighting so desperately against an enemy he can't possibly beat. Done playing games, Caracal orders his monstrous pets to go in and put our hero out of his misery for good. The horde of ghouls immediately swarms him, their claws ready to rip him to absolute shreds. But the system drops an insane offer, risk it all to become a Labyrinth designer right here, right now. With monsters literally an inch from his face, he knows this is the craziest gamble of his entire life. His eyes blaze with pure desperation, it's either go big or go home in a body bag. With a primal scream, he accepts the deal, ready to face whatever hell this new power throws at him. The system locks in the quest, but there's no time to celebrate as the monsters lunge for the kill. A system window slams open, announcing that the tutorial level is officially about to begin. A blinding flash of light completely engulfs our boy, teleporting him out of danger at the last possible second. The entire dungeon glitches out, shattering into a million digital pieces as reality itself gets a hard reset. Caracal is absolutely losing his mind, totally baffled by this impossible disappearing act he just witnessed. The necromancer scans the empty battlefield, screaming for answers as his perfect little trap completely falls apart. Boom, a brand new stat screen pops up, confirming our boy is in the middle of a legendary class advancement quest. He checks the details, realizing his old class got wiped as the system confirms he's officially reawakened. The gears in his head start turning, and he finally figures out where the system just dumped him. He's been dropped into a spooky, empty dungeon corridor, the tutorial zone for his game-breaking new powers. The mission is simple: hunt down 20 ghouls in 24 hours to unlock his new class, or fail and lose everything. Our boy's already got the mission down, but he's scratching his head over this mysterious map function. The system wastes no time, dropping a badass holographic map right in front of his face. And holy crap, it's a full 3D layout of the entire tutorial zone, surprisingly easy to read. He instantly deciphers the code. The green dot is him, and all those red dots are his ghoul targets. The whole mission becomes crystal clear. Use this god-tier map to hunt down every last ghoul. While this quest would be suicide for anyone else, for a seeker like him, it's basically home turf. He takes one last deep breath, steeling himself for the 24-hour monster-slaying marathon ahead. With a cocky grin and lightning crackling in his fists, our boy is officially ready for war. And right on cue, his first target appears, a hideous ghoul roaring like it's ready to rip him apart. But our boy doesn't even flinch, instantly blasting the monster with a glowing blue energy strike. The system dings a level up, but with only 30 minutes left, our boy knows he has to go into overdrive. He reflects on how he kicked things off, even ripping a makeshift shiv straight from a monster's skull. From there, it was all about his god-tier map skill, lighting up every ghoul's location like a Christmas tree. He then went on an absolute rampage, picking off the ghouls one by one with pure electric fury. The hours flew by and the body count rose, making him super confident he'd crush this mission with time to spare. But that all changed when a ridiculously huge alpha ghoul started hunting him down on the map. At least this absolute unit was a lone wolf, not rolling deep with the rest of the pack. But our boy knows this isn't just another kill. He's not even sure if he can take this thing down at all. His new game plan is simple: clear out the cannon fodder fast to set up a one-on-one with the big boss. With his strategy set, he turns to face the next ghoul on his list, ready to punch its ticket. Our boy hits the monster with some ice-cold trash talk, basically thanking it for being his next victim. Talk about bad luck, his smirk disappears when he realizes this monster brought the whole squad with it. His lone wolf boss monster just rolled up with its entire crew, completely shattering his master plan. He's absolutely kicking himself now, realizing the ticking clock made him sloppy enough to miss this ambush. No time to panic, he immediately starts running the numbers, admitting he can only handle 2 of these things at once. His only option is a full-blown retreat, but the problem is a wall of angry ghouls standing in his way. He visualizes the battle like a chessboard, and no matter how he looks at it, he's completely cornered. He's officially out of options and out of time, admitting to himself that this is a total checkmate. His confidence is completely shattered, wondering if this impossible challenge is just the hard limit of his D-rank power. But then it hits him: this isn't a fair fight, it's a completely rigged tutorial designed to break him. Our boy roars at the system itself, demanding a real weapon because he didn't come this far just to die. And just like that, the system answers, firing up his insane sixth sense and synesthesia skills in response. With his new power-up, he dares the entire ghoul squad to come at him, ready to take them all on. His super senses link up with the map, unlocking a game-breaking new feature called a spin block. He spots a glowing section of the dungeon architecture, realizing this is the key to his escape. And the system confirms it. He can now use this brand new ability directly through his map. This is his 1 in a million shot, the literal cheat code he needed to rig the game back in his favor. The map suddenly glitches into a full-blown 3D hologram of the dungeon, and our boy is completely baffled. The system gives him a quick demo, showing he can literally grab and rotate entire chunks of the dungeon. The reality of this insane new power sinks in as he realizes he's no longer just a player, he's the game master. The ghouls dive in for the kill, and our boy is officially out of time and out of options. Bam, he activates his new power, rotating a massive wall to crush the monsters flat like roadkill. A light bulb goes off in his head as he realizes he can literally bend the entire dungeon to his will. Our boy flashes a deadly grin. This game-breaking power just turned the hunter into the god of the hunt. He uses the map like a DJ's turntable, spinning a brand new hallway into existence to block his enemies. Without a second thought, he bolts down the new path, leaving the monsters totally confused and in the dust. He goes on an absolute rampage, short-circuiting ghouls left and right with his bare electrified hands. There's no mercy in his eyes as he fries another monster, racking up the kill count with ice-cold precision. But the clock is still ticking, and the alpha ghoul is closing in fast, its eyes glowing with pure murderous rage. So he gets back to work, twisting and turning the labyrinth to isolate every last target one by one. He traps the final ghoul in a dead-end hallway and absolutely vaporizes it with a single charged-up punch. Another one bites the dust, and with the minions cleared, the kill count is officially complete. With the fodder gone, he turns to face the alpha ghoul, roaring that there's only one last bastard to kill. Our boy dives in with a lightning-fast haymaker, aiming to turn this monster's face into absolute pavement. But the absolute unit just catches his fist midair, completely shutting down his all-out attack cold. Things go south as the boss monster counters, charging up a devastating energy blast at point-blank range. But our boy's eyes just blaze with golden light, promising this beast it just made a huge mistake. He roars that he didn't come this far to die, jamming that bone shiv straight through the monster's skull. Boom, the system confirms it. Tutorial complete, and our boy is now a god-tier labyrinth designer. Meanwhile, back in reality, his squad is losing their minds, desperate to dive back into hell to save him. This rookie is absolutely losing it, screaming that with the gate gone, there's no way to get Seo Yul back. But one dude is just casually munching on an ice cream bar, completely unfazed by all the chaos. And look who it is, our boy Seo Yul, casually strolling up like he just got back from a coffee run. The whole squad's jaws hit the damn floor, their brains completely short-circuiting at the sight of him. He just flashes a smug grin, telling them to chill out and grab some ice cream because the workday is officially over. Later, our boy starts experimenting with his new powers, generating a crackling blue sphere of pure labyrinth energy. He realizes this new skill, the sphere, is his ticket to trapping enemies inside his own personal pocket dimension. But there's a catch: if anyone escapes by killing his dungeon boss, they come back with a massive power-up. The sphere is totally invisible to the naked eye, making it the perfect stealth trap for any unsuspecting enemy. But he knows his current labyrinth is full of weak-sauce ghouls. He needs to stock up on deadlier monsters ASAP. The plan is simple: trap monsters in his sphere, wreck them, and absorb their power for his own personal army. But to build the deadliest dungeon, our boy realizes he needs to become an absolute beast himself first. He's deep in thought when suddenly, a familiar voice completely snaps him out of his power-leveling trance. It's a schoolgirl named Yeonhee, offering him an apple with a smile that could light up the whole city. She explains her mom sent her with a delivery, and she just happened to bump into him on her way. She even hooks him up with a whole bag, saying it's a thank you gift for being a good neighbor for years. He tries to make some small talk, asking how school's going, but her reaction is a little tense. She gets all quiet and nervous, a bead of sweat rolling down her face like he just asked for state secrets. Our boy's super senses are already tingling as he takes a bite, knowing something is definitely off with her story. And his gut was right, because their casual stroll is cut short by desperate screams echoing down the street. Cops are trying to hold back a hysterical mother who's screaming that her kid is still trapped inside. And the place she's pointing at is a massive hotel that's practically screaming bad news. Our boy's hunter senses are going wild. He knows this isn't a fire, it's a full-blown dungeon break. That's when a gate gets ignored for too long, and all the monsters inside decide to spill out into the city. He immediately hands the apples back to a confused Yeonhee, knowing his day off is officially over. With his eyes blazing, he tells her duty calls because the rescue department just got a new mission. As he tries to cross the tape, a panicked cop immediately tries to stop him from walking into a death trap. But our boy just flashes his official ID, shutting the cop down with one smooth, badass move. The cop is still shook, but our boy makes it clear he's not waiting for backup and is diving in solo. This dude just doesn't get it, trying to physically stop him, but Seo Yul's face says, "Try me." The cop desperately warns him that a whole squad of red goblins is running wild inside, making it a suicide mission. But our boy just hits him with the ultimate Chad logic. That's the whole damn reason he's not waiting around. He reminds the cop that there's a kid trapped in there, and every second they waste is a second closer to tragedy. With the so-called hero guilds nowhere in sight, our boy decides someone has to step up and do their damn job. He just flashes a mysterious smirk, telling the cop not to worry because he didn't exactly come here alone. He strides into the abandoned hotel, knowing the greedy Hanel guild totally dropped the ball on this low-level gate. Because these guilds only care about big money gates, their negligence leads to bloody tragedies just like this one. With a stone-cold look, he calls out the monsters, telling them to stop hiding because he's got a new toy to test. And right on cue, a pack of rabid goblins lunges from the shadows, aiming to rip him to absolute shreds. But our boy just smirks, completely unimpressed and ready to remind these low-level mobs of their place in the food chain. He unleashes his brand new skill, generating a massive energy sphere to trap these unsuspecting chumps. The sphere turns into a goddamn black hole, yanking the entire goblin squad off their feet and into his trap. The goblins are absolutely clueless, their tiny brains short-circuiting as they get sucked into another dimension. One of them tries to fight back, but it's no use. The pull of the labyrinth is way too strong to resist. And just like that, he closes the portal, cleaning up the entire monster mess without even breaking a sweat. He admits the old him would have been screwed, but now he's got the whole goblin squad trapped in a pocket dimension. But things are different now, because inside his labyrinth, the goblins are about to meet his personal attack dog. With a god-tier smirk, he declares himself the master of this game, and the real hunt has just begun. Inside his domain, the weak-sauce red goblins are nothing more than cannon fodder for his real monster. This absolute unit of a ghoul is now his alpha, hunting down the new arrivals to make them part of his army. The only difference is his alpha ghoul doesn't just kill, it hunts with terrifying, predatory intelligence. But plot twist, these goblins are the smart ones, setting up a coordinated pincer attack from the damn ceiling. Our boy just smirks, deciding that their little coordinated ambush is officially getting shut down right now. He instantly manipulates the map, slamming up a massive wall to completely block their surprise attack. The ghoul takes full advantage, body slamming the stunned goblins straight into the newly formed terrain. And just like that, the tables turn into a full-blown massacre as his alpha absolutely wrecks the goblin squad. He checks the stats, realizing these little red bastards are adapting way too fast to his labyrinth's tricks. Back in the real world, a bloody knife on the floor proves he can't let his guard down for a single second. His eyes blaze with golden energy as he dares them to try something, because this is his game now. He holds their fate in the palm of his hand, promising that inside his world, they're the ones being hunted. With the ground floor clear, our boy heads straight for the 17th floor, knowing the kid is close. He finds the poor girl, Somi, hiding in a closet and absolutely terrified for her life. Our boy drops a hero's smile, telling her the coast is clear because he handled all the monsters. The little girl can't believe her eyes, asking if he really took out that whole goblin army all by himself. He's feeling pretty damn smug, knowing his brand new labyrinth power was the perfect tool for the job. He knew these monsters were sniffing her out, closing in on her hiding spot with every passing second. Talk about a close call, if he'd been a minute slower, she would have been goblin food for sure. But just as he's celebrating, a system alert pops up out of nowhere, completely killing the mood. And it's bad news, the goblins are wrecking his dungeon, already wiping out half his monster guards. He shoves her towards the elevator to get her to safety, but she can tell something is seriously wrong. He gives the kid a reassuring smile, promising to go take care of the last bad guy still on the loose. The second she's gone, his friendly act drops as he realizes the goblin ringleader is wrecking his dungeon. And inside his sphere, a badass red goblin king is tearing through his ghoul army like they're made of paper. He considers sending in his own boss monster, but knows if his alpha loses, he's in for a world of hurt. So he switches to plan B, deciding to dive into his own damn dungeon and handle this problem personally. Without wasting a second, our boy opens a portal and jumps straight into his own personal pocket dimension. He lands inside and is absolutely stunned by the sheer level of destruction these goblins have already caused. The battlefield is littered with the bodies of his fallen ghouls. This goblin boss really did a number on them. He pulls up his Game Master controls, telling the Goblin King that playtime with his ghouls is officially over. The goblin charges in for the kill, only to get stonewalled by a massive labyrinth wall that erupts from nothing. With a deadly grin, he hits the goblin with a classic come-hither taunt ready to throw down. The Goblin King is absolutely losing it, roaring in rage as its fists ignite with pure fiery hatred. The beast swings a massive flaming axe, promising to end him, but our boy blocks it like a total champ. The shockwave ripples through the dungeon, but our boy just smirks, completely unfazed by the monster's raw power. His eyes blaze with golden energy as he realizes his new Labyrinth designer class has made him an absolute powerhouse. A brand new stat screen confirms it. Our boy's old self is long gone, replaced by a straight-up killing machine. He admits the original plan was to just test the waters, letting his ghouls do all the dirty work. But now, with a killer smirk, he realizes he's got more than enough juice to take this chump on solo. He ducks under a devastating fiery swing, moving with a speed that leaves the Goblin King swinging at empty air. Then he counters with a devastating energy blast, slamming it right into the beast's gut and sending it flying. He follows up with a brutal gut punch, blasting the beast with pure concussive force. The monster gets launched like a cannonball, skidding down the entire length of the hallway. Our boy lands with total finesse, looking like he barely even broke a sweat after that massive hit. He hits the goblin with a smug grin, sarcastically thanking it for launching him right where he wanted to be. The Goblin King is absolutely seething, trying to trash talk our boy even with a busted-up arm. Our boy just stands up cool as a cucumber, confirming this was all part of his master plan from the start. He hits the goblin with some next-level psychological warfare, asking where all that big-shot energy went. He calls out the goblin like a disappointed investor, complaining that his new monster is slacking on the job. That insult hits a nerve and the Goblin King roars back, its eyes glowing with pure, unadulterated rage. Our boy just throws out the ultimate burn, asking the so-called king if it's actually just terrified of him. The Goblin King goes completely berserk, but our boy just stands there, demanding to see a return on his investment. His eyes glow with ice-cold intent. He's not just fighting, he's testing the absolute limits of his new monster. The beast unleashes a full-throttle flaming punch, aiming to turn our boy into a greasy red stain on the floor. But bam, the monster slams face first into an invisible repulsion wall, a brand new feature our boy just installed. The goblin's ultimate attack gets shut down cold, leaving it completely stunned and vulnerable on the other side of the barrier. With a stone-cold smile, our boy gives the beast a final, chilling farewell before springing his real trap. The system confirms it's game over as a spike trap activates, yanking the Goblin King straight up to the ceiling. He just stands there like a boss as the bloody spikes retract, leaving nothing but a monster-sized mess behind him. Our boy checks the bill and confirms that yeah, spending a little gold on a high-tech death trap was totally worth it. He flashes a smug grin, admitting the trap works so damn well he almost feels bad for the poor chump he just turned into a kebab. Not only does he level up, but the system just confirmed the whole goblin army is now part of his collection. Our boy strolls out looking like he just went 12 rounds, but you can tell the mission was a total success. But his much-needed R&R gets cut short when a familiar voice starts barking his name from across the lobby. It's his section chief, and he is absolutely losing his mind that our boy went and cleared a dungeon break solo. The chief starts freaking out over his injuries, but our boy just plays dumb, blaming it all on a case of amnesia. His boss ain't buying that for a second, so our boy cheekily tries to bribe him with the promise of free barbecue. Just as he's about to get chewed out, some mysterious dude in a trench coat steps in to interrupt the reunion. Oh hell no, it's a big shot from the Hanel Guild, the same scumbags who let this disaster happen in the first place. Our boy and his chief are immediately on high alert, but the boss reluctantly gives this suit the time of day. The suit lays on some fake charm, thanking them for cooperating in cleaning up a mess his guild literally created. The suit cuts the crap, getting right down to the shady business he's really here for. He basically tells them to shut their mouths and not say a damn word to the press about the guild's screw-up. This snake tries to play the hero card, claiming bad press would only scare the little people. Then he drops the real bombshell, offering to line their pockets with a fat sponsorship to buy their silence. Our boy's eyes flash as he realizes this is the guild's classic move: throw money at a problem until it disappears. Because let's be real, the public sees government D ranks as chumps compared to the god-tier S ranks in the guilds. So everyone puts their faith in these flashy guild heroes, thinking they're the only ones strong enough to protect them. It absolutely infuriates him that these scumbags exploit that trust, but he knows it's a fight he can't win alone. The suit misreads the room completely, grabbing our boy's arm and pretending they're all on the same team. But our boy just flashes a killer smile, playing along because he knows the system would just bury the truth anyway. With a downright evil grin, our boy reveals he's not just gonna let this slide without getting his cut. He stops the suit dead in his tracks, reminding him that cleaning up guild messes is gonna be a full-time job. Then he drops the absolute bombshell of a price tag for his silence, a cool 100 billion won. With his eyes glowing like a predator, he dares the suit to say no to his very reasonable sponsorship request. The suit's brain completely short-circuits, the sheer audacity of that number making him see red. A few days later, our boy is just casually sipping an iced coffee, looking like a man who just won the lottery. After single-handedly clearing the dungeon and shaking down a major guild, he has absolutely earned this 2-day vacation. And yeah, that reward came from making that scummy guild suit cry into his phone for a fat paycheck. But his epic power-up hasn't gone unnoticed, and now his entire squad is looking at him like he's a damn alien. He knows if word gets out about his reawakening, every big-shot guild will be on him like flies on honey. For now, our boy's putting the hero stuff on hold to focus on becoming the ultimate dungeon master. First things first, he's gotta repair the damage from that goblin brawl, and everything costs some serious gold. But the final bill is absolutely insane, costing him almost double his damn monthly salary just for upkeep. He knows you gotta spend money to make money, so he bites the bullet and drops the cash on the upgrade. With his dungeon all patched up, he chills in the park, casually admiring his personal pocket dimension. But his peaceful day off gets completely wrecked by a phone call he absolutely does not want to take. He answers with zero chill, basically telling some surveillance grunt to spit it out or leave him alone. But the mysterious caller just hits him with a smug-ass tone, telling him his vacation is about to get real busy. It's Lee Jianghai from surveillance, and she's demanding he use his seeker powers for her own personal errand. And our boy's response is legendary. He just straight up hangs up on her mid-sentence, leaving her completely shook. He grabs his coffee, realizing he can save a ton of cash by not respawning his entire monster army. Besides, with his new op stats, it's way faster for him to just jump in and handle business himself anyway. But the constant buzzing from his phone completely snaps him out of his dungeon master daydreaming. He absolutely loses it, yelling at her to do her own damn job while she desperately tries to bribe him with free beef. She drops the fair and delicate lady act, promising this target is so important he'll be begging to find them. And just like that, his interest is officially piqued, admitting this is a person he'd actually like to meet. With his seeker eyes blazing, he boasts that if it's someone of that caliber, he'll find them in no time flat. Meanwhile, at a park nearby, some old-timer makes a killer move, totally checkmating his grumpy opponent. The loser is absolutely fuming, demanding a rematch while our boy Seo Yul quietly approaches the scene in the background. His hunter senses are going absolutely nuts. He felt this guy's power from a mile away, but up close it's on another level. This old dude is radiating a dark red aura so insane it's practically screaming, "Final boss." But aura aside, our boy is having a hard time believing this chilled-out grandpa is his legendary target. The old-timer totally calls him out for staring and asks if he actually knows how to play the game. The grumpy loser immediately grabs our boy, practically begging him for a cheat code to win the rematch. Our boy just points out a simple strategy, telling him to move the chariot to turn the tables. And just like that, his game-breaking sixth sense skill kicks into absolute overdrive. His eyes light up like a supercomputer, calculating every possible outcome of the game in a split second. He sees it all in his mind's eye, a single move that will lead to an absolute checkmate explosion. But the salty old loser just yeets his damn phone, lodging it deep into a tree like a freaking ninja star. Suddenly, the real target with the crazy aura kneels down, admitting he can forgive a guy for having an agenda. Our boy's hunter senses are screaming, yup, this chill grandpa is definitely the legendary badass he's looking for. This isn't just some strong dude. He's one of Korea's 5 legendary S-rank hunters, the absolute top of the food chain. His nickname is the Weapon Master, a one-man army who can turn a damn toothpick into a lethal killing machine. But this S-rank legend, Kang Tae-san, absolutely hates people who give unsolicited advice, and our boy just did exactly that. And get this, the salty old dude who lost the game is actually his freaking student. Right on cue, the surveillance lady Lee Jianghai finally shows up, looking like she just ran a marathon to get here. The old master is not impressed, immediately calling her out for being one of the government's glorified stalkers. But our boy smoothly steps in, flashing his phone to prove he's just a seeker from rescue doing her a favor. Then he gets way too familiar, boasting that it's a curse to be this damn talented at everything he does. Oh, bad move, the weapon master hits him with a stone-cold glare, warning him that his big mouth is about to get him killed. Jianghai is absolutely fuming that he went MIA, but the old master just greets her like they're old friends. She tries to herd the legendary hunter back to work for the trainees, but he is clearly in no damn hurry. She gives our boy a sly look, demanding to know how a D-rank outsmarted her entire high-tech surveillance team. Our boy just flashes a smug grin, tells her he's just that good, and tries to bounce after demanding his payment in beef. But the old master's voice cuts through the air, stopping our arrogant brat dead in his tracks before he can escape. Kang Tae-san hits him with a come-hither gesture, basically ordering our boy to follow him for a little chat. They arrive at Bureau HQ, where the old master reveals he's about to test if our boy's skills are as big as his mouth. On a tablet, a video shows the master explaining that every hunter has a hard-coded power limit they can never pass. The grim lesson continues. No matter how hard you train, a C-rank is doomed to stay a C-rank for life. But here's the kicker, the master believes true martial arts can shatter those limits, a power the system can't even measure. He whips out a glowing blue sword, explaining that pure weapon skill is the ultimate cheat code for leveling up. And that's exactly why all these bureau grunts are here today, to learn how to shatter their pathetic power ceilings. But our boy is completely zoned out, mentally calculating the repair costs for his personal monster-filled death trap. The master singles out some poor schmuck named Siwoo, demanding to know how long he's been wasting his time here. Even Jianghai is surprised, realizing this guy is one of the few B-rank elites in the entire surveillance department. The old man throws him a bone, saying he's got potential, and this dude looks like he just won the lottery. Then the master drops a pop quiz, asking his star pupil what it really takes to wield a blade like a true warrior. The trainee flexes his aura, confidently answering that it's all about raw strength and a deep understanding of skills. But the master just shuts him down, turning the question over to the arrogant brat, our boy Seo Yul. With his eyes blazing gold, our boy hits him with the real answer. All you need is the absolute will to fight. The other trainees are completely shook, whispering that Siwoo's answer was way better and questioning who this random dude even is. The old master leans in close, challenging our boy's ice-cold confidence and asking if he's really sure about that answer. Our boy doesn't even flinch, hitting him with a stone-cold "I'm sure," knowing this S-rank legend is way too sharp to fool. The old man grabs his shoulder, calling him out for being the most shamelessly arrogant brat he has ever met in his life. But then he drops a massive plot twist with a sly grin, admitting our boy was absolutely right all along. Our boy is a little thrown off by the praise, while the star pupil in the back looks like he's about to absolutely explode. And there he goes, Siwoo completely loses it, screaming that he refuses to be upstaged by some random nobody. Our boy just gives him a deadpan look, thinking this so-called elite is having a full-blown temper tantrum over one little question. The master steps in, announcing it's time to settle this with a test, completely changing his original lesson plan on the fly. He lays down the ultimate challenge, telling them to prove their philosophies in a fight and asking if they accept. The B-rank simp screams he's all in, but our boy just hits him with a stone-cold "Nah, I'm good." The old master just shrugs, telling our boy he's fine with picking the other chump unless he wants to step up. Then he drops the ultimate bombshell. Winning this test means becoming the official disciple of an S-rank hunter. The reality of that insane offer hits our boy like a ton of bricks. This is a literal game changer. This isn't just a power-up, it's a golden ticket to the absolute top of the hunter food chain. The old master flashes a killer grin, knowing he just dropped the one piece of bait our boy couldn't possibly resist. He lays out the rules. It's a simple test of destruction. Whoever shatters this magic stone the most wins. And just like that, the gauntlet is thrown down, with the ultimate prize of S-rank discipleship on the line. Our boy's mind is already racing, calculating every angle of this so-called ether stone test. And this thing is no joke, a legendary artifact crackling with so much raw energy only the strongest can even scratch it. Siwoo is absolutely losing his mind over department pride, while our boy tries to crack the master's inherited skills puzzle. The whole crowd is going absolutely nuts, but Jianghai just chills in the middle, looking completely unfazed by the drama. With his eyes blazing, our boy grabs a weapon, dead set on snatching this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for himself. The master lays down the final rule: feel his power and inherit his skills or get the hell out of his dojo. With a grim look that says "Showtime," the weapon master officially kicks off this legendary test of power. Holy, the master unleashes a tidal wave of pure red killing intent that sends everyone absolutely flying. Siwoo is getting absolutely crushed by the pressure, realizing he has to tank this insane aura just to qualify. The pressure is so intense this B-rank hotshot is already on the verge of blacking out completely. But while everyone else is getting wrecked, our boy's op senses see right through the chaos to the skill's true form. Boom, the system confirms it. He just downloaded a legendary martial art and a new mind skill like it was nothing. The master gives a rare compliment, admitting both our boy and his rival have the raw talent to survive his test. While Siwoo struggles to stay upright, our boy grits his teeth, tanking the S-rank pressure like an absolute beast. The rest of the trainees are completely wiped out, proving just how insane this S-rank's killing intent really is. The old master flashes a wicked grin, ready to kick this high-stakes competition into the next gear. He lays down the ultimate challenge, asking which one of these two hotshots is gonna step up and claim the prize first. Without a second's hesitation, Siwoo steps up to the crackling ether stone, ready to unleash his B-rank fury. He throws some serious trash talk our boy's way, promising to break his spirit before he even gets a turn. Our boy just hits him with a massive yawn, completely bored by the B-rank's pathetic attempt at intimidation. Siwoo just gets more pissed, accusing our D-rank legend of being a fraud who bribed his way into this test. Done with the talking, he roars and unleashes a full-power strike, ready to prove his worth with pure destruction. Boom, the B-ranker slams the stone with a devastating blow, shattering a massive chunk with pure explosive force. The whole crowd is absolutely shook, their brains short-circuiting over how this dude is a government grunt and not an S-rank. Even the old master is impressed, giving a rare nod of approval and wondering if the kid actually mastered his legendary technique. But Siwoo immediately gets in our boy's face, trying to pull rank and telling the junior to know his damn place. Our boy just flashes a killer smile, hitting him with the ice-cold burn that playing it safe gets you killed. The master cuts them off, completely done with the trash talk and telling our boy it's finally his turn to step up. Our boy sizes up the glowing stone, admitting that yeah, the other guy is a powerhouse in the raw strength department. But he gets into a ready stance, knowing this isn't a powerlifting contest, it's a test of pure warrior philosophy. He remembers the master's words, knowing his unorthodox answer was the secret cheat code to this entire test. He takes a deep breath, channeling his inner killer because he's about to prove what true will to fight really means. He taps into his core motivation, remembering the one single reason he ever picked up a weapon in the first place. It all goes back to that hero who saved him, the one who inspired him to become a protector of the weak. He fights to give others that same feeling of hope, that same chance to be reunited with the ones they love. And to achieve that dream, he knows he needs to become an absolute monster on the battlefield. With a primal roar, our boy unleashes a tidal wave of pure, unadulterated power he's been hiding all along. He launches his ultimate skill, a goddamn dragon flame piercer that scorches the entire room with its raw power. The entire crowd's jaws hit the damn floor, their brains completely short-circuiting at this impossible display of strength. His B-rank rival is completely broken, sweating bullets and barely able to process the insane power he just witnessed. Our boy casually floats past the stunned B-ranker, sarcastically apologizing for completely and utterly upstaging him. With a god-tier smirk, he asks if his senior minds if a junior goes ahead and steals his thunder for good. The old master drops some legendary wisdom, telling our boy that true power comes from knowing yourself, not the weapon. And with a single finger, the weapon master makes it official. Our boy is now the disciple of a god-tier S-rank. Our boy flashes a killer smile, accepting the title like he knew he was born for this moment all along. The entire room is absolutely shook, staring down the D-rank who just shattered all their expectations and their pride. Meanwhile, in a dark alleyway, some scumbag bully yanks Yeonhee by the hair, taunting her for not listening to him. Her so-called classmate chimes in with fake sympathy, blaming Yeonhee for being too damn nosy for her own good. The blonde bully mocks her, asking if playing the hero for her friend was really worth getting beaten to a pulp. The ringleader chimes in, telling her she should have known better than to mess with his crew in the first place. He rubs it in even further, reminding her that now she's all alone with absolutely no one left to save her. And he drops a bombshell. The friend she tried to save is now lying broken in a hospital bed after a rooftop dive. The bully flashes a twisted smile, telling her that defiant glare just makes him want to break her even more. And bam, he smacks her to the ground, a brutal backhand that shows he's done playing games. But the beatdown gets interrupted by the real boss, a young master who's clearly running this whole scumbag operation. Plot twist, this so-called young master is a damn B-rank hunter, radiating an aura of pure, unadulterated slimeball energy. The ringleader orders his grunts to keep an eye on Yeonhee, making sure their victim doesn't even think about escaping. The B-rank psycho tells the bully to tag along, and the dude immediately snaps to attention like a loyal little attack dog. He flashes a sinister grin, promising they're going somewhere nice and private where they can really have some fun. And by fun, he means opening a massive, crackling purple gate right over the city, ready to dump her into a death trap. Meanwhile, our boy's bitter rival Siwoo is dripping with jealousy, sarcastically congratulating him on becoming an S-rank's pet. Siwoo mocks his simple spear choice, but our boy just smirks, knowing this single weapon is all he needs to become a god. He chose this legendary spear for one reason. It's not just a weapon, it's a goddamn upgrade waiting to happen. Our boy is officially over it, hitting Jeonghai with some serious sass about her department's hard work. But Jeonghai flips out trying to stop him, and he just shoves her off with a stone-cold glare like a total badass. Meanwhile, a desperate woman is trying to force her way past security, screaming that she needs to see Seo Yul now. The guard tells her to chill and just call him, but she's completely losing it, yelling that his phone is off. And right on cue, our boy strolls up, completely oblivious to the absolute chaos he just walked into. She immediately grabs him, her face a mask of pure terror as she begs him for help with tears in her eyes. The woman screams that her daughter Yeonhee has been kidnapped, and our boy's face instantly goes ice cold. His hunter's instinct kicks into absolute overdrive, his eyes blazing with pure murderous rage as he demands a name.